Okay, everybody, can you hear me? The chat should be open. So the only reason why I have the chat open on this video is because when I did the first video of the other America Warning series, they cut off my audio after 8 minutes, which I feel like I shouldn't park over here. I'm gonna park on the other side. Yeah. So I just want to make sure you guys can hear me, because I really can't trust that YouTube is honoring my audio. Can somebody tell me if they can hear me, please, before I begin? And if at any point, guys, my audio goes out, can you please let me know? Because they're messing with my stuff. Good morning, guys. Can anybody hear me? Just want to make sure before I start talking. Okay, good, because you know what happened last time they took off my audio. They literally erased my audio. Okay, good. Okay, because okay, great. Okay, all right. And I need to still get that microphone, guys. Okay, good morning, everybody. I'm at the park. I want to make this video at the park. Now, once I start walking back this way, I don't know if the Wi-Fi or the signal is going to be as strong. So maybe I should just make the video in the car and then go walk, right? So here's basically what I want to say, guys. And I stumbled upon another prophet's intuitives video this morning, and that was 7 months ago, and she was warning her subscribers the same thing that I'm trying to warn for you all out here. Now, not everybody's gonna leave, like not everybody's gonna, obviously leave America, but this feeling is getting stronger and stronger by the day. No BS, guys. And I just want to put this out here. I don't know how long or short this video is going to be, because my voice is still recovering from election day. Like, since election day, my voice has been like awful. But basically, this is like kind of pushing it. I would say that people have about 2 years down, like 2 years down. So really, if you can get your paperwork done, for those who are serious and like they're being called and warned to get out of here, get out of basically the USA before war strikes our land, invasion strikes our land, like it gets really, really bad. Not everybody's going to obviously agree, but I'm only speaking to those who have an inkling, or, they're being called to do this. And so I want to honor you all for honoring yourselves, because a lot of people are going to be like left behind. A lot of bad things are going to happen that you've never seen before. And so I just wanted to tell you guys, like, if you can get your paperwork done in less than a year, you're way ahead of the curve. Right now, things are really, really bad. They actually just released new data that the homelessness rates have skyrocketed in 2024 in the USA alone. As blessings to you all, as well as the tremendous decline in birth rates. In terms of Western country, America has been declining with their birth rate, as well as their what do you call that thing where like they live long, like their longevity, where they live, to a certain age, that's been on the decline. The new data that released was scary. And we're supposed to be the wealthiest country in the world, and it does not show. And so I want you guys to know that I am not just saying this to say this. As soon as I get back home from working out, I have to call the British embassy. I need to make a couple calls. And I literally, guys, like, this is no joke. I literally, because of how strong like this feeling is within me, I literally have to find out if I can even take my Japanese American, because my make of car is Japanese to my knowledge, but it's, I don't know if it was made in America, but it is a Japanese brand. And from what I saw, depending upon where you guys move to, there are certain rules and regulations in which you can either bring stuff over, like, big items like your car, depending upon where you're going to move to. And so where I'm moving to, I don't know if the car that I'm paying for every month is even going to be able to go with me, And the other thing I saw was that there could be some fees that I have to pay extra in order to bring my American car over there. But we don't know if that's true or not. I don't know if that's true or not. So as soon as everything clears, the green light's there, I get the place, as soon as I get that green light and everything's in alignment, I'm either going to have to sell this very car that I'm sitting in that I've paid for over $10,000 plus now, or I'm going to be able to bring my car over there, but I'm going to have to pay an additional fee, like additional fees to use my car in Europe. So I don't know. But I am seeing one by one, people are finally waking up. There was a couple of African origin Black men who have been going viral on TikTok. I'm not sure if you guys saw it. Most people didn't see it because their FYP maybe didn't show it to them. But on my FYP, it came up, and he's wealthy and he has money, and he was also buying the so-called American dream. He came over to America and he's talking about all the lies, all the complete poverty, the complete depression, the isolation. He cannot believe that this is the same country that they sold him this stack of lies on. And a lot of immigrants and people who have become naturalized like myself, like, are really waking up and warning other people, like, do not come over here. I can give you guys another example. My aunt had a medical emergency about a year and a half ago. Gabriella, or I hope I spelled your name right, I pronounced your name right. The end time, let me tell you guys, it has begun. And let me tell you what has been revealed to me and many people. The Matrix template, the mind control template, the brainwashing template is the strongest in America. I am not saying that other countries are not going to be selling you a bunch of useless items, right? And putting the Kardashians all over the TV, right? And trying to tell people to become a Kardashian or to become this, larger than life person. I am not saying that. But what I am saying that at its basis, other countries, majority of other countries, whether it's in Asia, Africa, Europe, you name it. Hi, everyone. They have certain moral standing and like basic essentials, and like, especially if we're talking about like social benefits. So let's say, for example, you lose your job, right? Let's say, for example, that you're going to be homeless. Guess what? There's other countries that will actually provide a place for you to stay. In America, it's actually illegal to be homeless. So this is not the country, or this is not the place you want to be to trial and error, right? To test and see if you're going to become a millionaire, to try and see if you're going to survive. You're not going to survive because America is the bully of the world. We are the ones who start and initiate wars. We're the ones who fund wars. So it's always going to come back to America because we have the most money in the military. We have the most money in the stock markets. This is how America is run. So what I'm seeing, especially the next 4 to 8 years, is so devastating. And if I did not feel this way, then I'd be just telling you guys a bunch of hogwash, and I would keep my ass in America and act like everything is fine. But it's not. And people that are of especially immigrant descent are feeling the call, but they're not sure what to do. Even my aunt, who is Caribbean based, she's feeling the same way, but she's, got her cushy job, and she's afraid. She has a new grandson now, so she's worried about his life because every day there's a school shooting in this country, and she's also feeling the need to get out of here. But the thing is, the frequency warfare, I'm going to call it frequency warfare. And the way that they've groomed us is to keep buying, keep reproducing, keep upgrading, keep doing this, keep doing that, keep going to these expensive universities. And my other video, I broke down, guys, how childbirth and education is the most expensive in the world, in America. There is no other country that is as expensive as America. So basically, if you're not rich and you're not willing to lose thousands of dollars, this is not the country you want to be in. Because when times get even worse, no one's going to save us. I just want to make that very clear. Not the government, not any president, not any official that's in any kind of branch of government. They cannot save what's coming, guys. All the UFOs, all the drones, all the invasion that's about to go down in America, people are going to wish that they listened to my video. They're going to wish that they had a passport. I'm telling you. So I am taking my own warning. I am taking my own advice. And I've heard the call. I've got the confirmation. A lot of you all are getting the confirmation. And whether, yes, it's the end times, but what I'm saying is it's tremendously going to be a lot worse in America, and it's going to be a lot harder to survive and live a comfortable life because of the credit score system and how they control everything here in America. They're not going to give any mercy. I can give another example. I had a situation just yesterday where I kid you not, guys, I kid you not, I put money in my checking account, my debit account, to pay for a bill. And I kid you not, some fraudulent company, I have no idea how they even got my information, took out over $300 out of my checking account. And nobody alerted me, nobody stopped them. And I call my bank and I'm like, first of all, this is a fraudulent charge. And when I called the merchant who stole the money, you know what they told me? Oh, this is a corporation. Just like America, this is a corporation, and we don't care what bill you have to pay. If the money is there, we're going to keep dinging your account every single day. My parents have lived in different continents and different countries, right? And everything that I'm experiencing, their siblings experience, their coworkers experience, their neighbors experience. They've never experienced this kind of living, this kind of way of like manipulation and control besides in America. I've never experienced that kind of just complete disrespect. And I'm like, this is my account. This is my bank account. What gives you the right to literally go behind my back and steal money? And then on top of that, I got a voicemail from God knows who talking about, we want to make sure you can still come in and blah, 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 blah. And please give us a call so you can update your information so we could charge you. And I'm like, we never had a conversation at 6 in the morning. I never called you guys yesterday. A bunch of lies, all lies, trying to manipulate me into trying to buy into a service that I don't want, And that's how America is. And all these student loans that people are being pressured to take out. Let me tell you, I am the first person to tell people that I'm ambitious. I don't have a lazy bone in my body. But what I refuse to do, guys, is to go hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. And then when I cannot find a job in that area, or they let me go, or whatever was to happen to me, guess what? I am still responsible for those bills. And that's what a lot of American people or Americanized people are seeming to forget. They think that these student loans are going to just disappear. Unfortunately, guys, Joe Biden was trying to do something and they keep blocking him. And guess what? He's no longer president in January. If everything is still going according to this new timeline, Joe Biden is gone, guys. I want you to really understand on a soul level what I'm saying for those, especially for those who are in their 20s and 30s. This is not a joke. You cannot file for bankruptcy to get rid of those student loans. As soon as you sign that dotted line, they put you to the cross and say, you must pay this back. You must pay these bills. And so all the peer pressure that I got, all the criticism that I got, I'm like, you could forget it. You can absolutely forget it. I thank God, guys. I thank God that I never listened, that I never listened to all these outside influences trying to guilt trip me to go into debt, because look at what's going to happen now, and there's no help for these college students, The most expensive and the lowest quality by far. I'm just drinking some water, guys. So at any point that you guys cannot hear my audio, please let me know, because in my other video, they erased it because I was saying too much truth. And they didn't like it. And I had to do the video all over again, and it was over a 3-hour video. So what I will say with you guys is go to your own guides, pray about it. Like, however you're tapped in spiritually, you have to pray about it. Because some people, they feel uncomfortable living in America. They know that something is wrong, right? But they've not taken the quiet time to really investigate how much money they've lost, how high their bills are, how unfair the system is in this country. A lot of people are just on autopilot, you know, and they've not unplugged. And the only way that you're going to see the forest and the trees is if you unplug and you look and you investigate how other people are living in other countries. And then you have to compare and say, what is a better way to live? How do I want to live? Like, I have a clear picture of my retirement. I have a clear picture of the kind of life that I want to live, right? And it's not in America, you know what I'm saying? And it took me a long time to, like, you know, first I was wondering if it's just the state that I'm in, and then I got to thinking that, wait, well, every time that I am talking to somebody, right? Every time I'm talking to somebody in a different state, they're having the same issues that I'm having, right? So I'm like, wait, this is just America in general. This is not about a particular state. This is just what's happening in general. And it's not going to get any better. You know, it's not going to get any better. All those so-called social policies that they love to, you know, poo-poo and put down are never going to happen. Like the student debt relief, there's no fixture for that. Homelessness crisis, no fixture for that. Low birth rates, no fixture for that. Like, they have just basically said to Americans, you figure it out. You're going to get in debt. You got to pay these bills. You know, you're owed to pay this and this and this bill. And they're not going to help any of us. I'm telling you that right now. That help has left the train station. So I am just simply putting this video out here because a lot of people need a reality check, and they're getting the warning signs and they're seeing what's to come, but they're not taking action. Guys, if you have a car in America that's paid off and you're trying to relocate, you have to call that embassy. You have to call whatever government head in that country. You have to find out from that country, can I take my car over there? Because not every country is going to let you bring certain things over, right? They all have their own way of business and how they want to run their country. So I am done, right? Like, I am done. And I've seen a lot of American people who've gone to other countries and they're still pursuing their dreams, but with less stress and with more help and a better quality of life. And that's just the reality. So my time is up in America. I'll put it that way. My time is up. You know, I am willing to give up my citizenship. I do not care. Like, I'm at this point right now where, like, I cannot believe that I have been here for this long. And I had to mourn, guys. I had to literally mourn the young girl who didn't have a choice. You know, when I was brought over here by my parents, I didn't have a choice. And I had to really, and I was talking to a friend yesterday, like, I had to come to grips with that. But, like, all these things that I had to do to survive and had to, like, endure was not by choice. You know, and if somebody moves you to a country when you're like 6, 7, 8 years old, what power do you really have? You know, you're not of age. You can't go and get your own job. You can't go and get your own car. So I was stuck. And I've been in America for over 2 decades, and I've worked hard. I've accumulated all this stuff. You guys see my YouTube, like, I've been there, done that. I have been there, done that. And I'm telling you guys, like, this is not how I want to live. And those people who want to stay for the invasion and they want to go through all that, be my guest. But when a lot of shit goes down, people are going to wish that they had their shit together, their paperwork together, their passports together, their visas together. They're going to wish they listened to me. I'm telling you right now. But not everybody's going to have the wisdom or the fortitude or the insight. In fact, millions are not, guys. Millions of people are not going to see the warning signs, and they're going to keep racking up their credit cards. They're going to keep going to these expensive loser schools. They're going to keep getting in more debt. And they're never going to be out of the rat race, because as long as you owe somebody money, you're in debt to somebody. As long as you owe somebody money, you're in that rat race. That's just the bottom line. And not every country is run like that. America is run like that, but not other countries are run like that. So that's what I wanted to tell you guys this morning, is for those who are serious and they're getting the call, you have less than 2 years. After 2 years, they may pull some kind of stunt where they say that we can't leave. And I'm not trying to scare anybody. I'm just telling you the reality. And when it happens, it's going to happen regardless of what I say and regardless of whatever people believe. Trust me, it's going to happen. It's going to get to a point where, especially if you're like an essential worker, they may not let you leave a country. 2 years from now, they may say, we need you in this country. You cannot go. You have too much debt. You have your job. Like, they could pull any stunt, guys. They could pull any stunt they want. And so the timer that I'm getting is 2 years minus. That's it. After 2 years, good luck trying to escape. Good luck trying to have an exit plan. So if you're going to have an exit plan, you have to start from now. I'm not saying you have to leave from now. If you can leave from now, great, awesome for you. But you're going to have to start the exit plan from now, the escape plan from now, because depending upon where you go, it's going to take a couple weeks or a couple months, or even could be up to a year for them to approve of your status, to approve of your visa or your passport, whatever the heck it is. It may take longer than others. Some places you can get it the same day, you can get it in a couple weeks. Other countries you cannot. So Americans don't retire. A lot of Americans don't retire because I have cracked the code that it's just a system in which they keep you in this loop of like upgrading, paying bills, owing people money. Like, I have neighbors. I have good, upstanding, hardworking neighbors, nice cars, you name it, 2-story house, and they're still working and they're well in their 60s, guys. Like, to me, that's like a death wish. You've worked all your life, right? From a teenager, from a young adult, you've worked all your life, right? And if your bills and your lifestyle is so unattainable, and the system is so crazy here that you can't even retire in your 60s comfortably, that's a red flag to me. That's a red flag to me. If you're working for 40 years plus, 50 years plus, you should be able to retire in comfort. You should not have to be paying all these extra taxes and all this extra BS. Like, that's a scam, okay? So there are certain things that I'm looking for that I found through research, through experience, and I'm looking forward to it. And every day, every single day, the feeling gets stronger. And a lot of people on TikTok, on YouTube, on X, on Twitter, on you name it, Blue Sky, Snapchat, Threads, have already exposed this Ponzi scheme, guys. America is more so of a corporation than it's a country. Like, straight up. When your women and children and your elderly are not protected and they're not able to live safely, that's a red flag for me. That's a huge flag for me. And I'm speaking from experience. I have family in Europe who literally are in their old age. They retired on time, right? And if they've ever had like a health issue or like a financial crisis, like, their government takes care of them. In America, you don't get any handouts. They're already talking about, guys, the fact that Social Security is going to be empty by 2050 or something like that. They're already talking about in America how there's not going to be any Social Security. There's not going to be all these like middle class funded things. They're already telling people, like, we may not have the money for you. When you want to retire, that money may not be there. So you're taking a big gamble, you know? People are taking a big gamble. But anyway, I cannot convince anybody of anything. I just feel like this video is really, in my humble opinion, I just feel like this video is just a confirmation to people who already know what's going on. Those who are happy in America and they're doing Jim Dandy and they don't see a problem with our system, they don't see a problem with the predatory banks and all that, they don't see an issue with that, then they're gonna be here and they're gonna live through all this craziness, and that's fine with me. I don't have nothing to do with that. But I'm speaking to those people who want a better quality of life, and they want to retire on time, and they want their kids to be safe in schools, and they want to explore the world, and they want to have a higher quality of life. I'm talking to those individuals. I'm not talking to people who want to be a part of the rat race, because I don't want to be a part of the rat race. I don't want my life to just be about work, and then I have no spare time to be with my pets or my family or my friends or even myself. I don't want that kind of lifestyle. And my parents already told me that they had even with their maternity, like they were treated a lot better. And so, like I said, guys, unfortunately, a lot of people are book smart. They're book smart, but they're not street smart. They don't know the gift of the gab. They don't know how to decode and decipher things. And it takes other people to say, hey, look over here, until they realize that they're getting scammed. Like the fact that now New Yorkers are complaining, saying how, the average rent is like $3,000, $4,000, and their paycheck is not even amounting to that, like, says it all. Whereas if they go to any other country, the max they're going to pay is $1,300 or $1,500. They're not going to pay $4,000 for a box. And so New York is like the only state in America that I know of, that a lot of people know of, that has a multifunctioning transportation system, right? With the subways and the trains and the taxis, and they have a lot of things very similar to Europe, but every other country, every other state in this country does not have that infrastructure. My state doesn't have that infrastructure. And my state is considered one of the most popular states in America. And we don't even have that infrastructure. So, like, if you don't have a car, you're screwed. You can't get to point A, point B. You can't drive five miles out to go shopping. You have to order groceries from home on your phone, or you're just not going to get fed that day. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just go to your local corner and get fresh produce, because America's not like that. You see what I'm saying? So just that fact alone, the quality of life is so much lower, guys. And people that have not traveled, right, and haven't lived in other countries, they would not know this. But sadly, good and bad for me, I know the difference. I've lived the difference. And now I've had enough. So I don't have a choice. So I'm working on my passport. I'm working on finding out if my car can be used over there. If they say to me that my car is not compatible and is not able to be on their streets, I have to sell this car, guys. This car you see right here, this car is going bye-bye. It's going bye-bye. And I know the public transportation systems over there, and honestly, you get there on time and there's no issue. So I'd be cutting out a lot of stress right there. You know what I'm saying? No car payment, no crazy maintenance, right? No crazy fees on how to do an oil change, or if your tire goes out, I'm not spending $400, $600. I'm not getting scammed. Like that right there, transportation alone is less stress for me. I can't speak for everybody else. I'm just telling you like how I'm thinking and like what I've experienced, what I've lived. And I'm saying it's not worth it to me. The same dreams and goals you have, you could do anywhere. But it's all about your drive and your perspective. And if you're going to pursue those same lofty dreams in America, it's going to come at a way higher price tag. And I'm just not willing to pay it, guys. Like, I would do a lot of things, right? I would do a lot of different things, but I'm not willing to go in debt. And I'm not willing to go into $1,000 in debt to prove what exactly? To prove what exactly, guys? Like, when you have a prosperity mindset, you realize and understand, but like things that are meant for you, you don't have to be scammed out of or into, right? Like it just aligns with you. It supports you. That's how you should be feeling. Like when I did my YouTube channel, I didn't have to pay anybody to do that. right? I didn't have to pay a fee to make a YouTube channel, right? Like, the reciprocity is there. You see what I'm saying? But a lot of things, the way the system is in America, is there's no reciprocity. They're just taking from you, taking from you, taking from you. You're not benefiting anything, right? And by the way, a car is a depreciating asset. So the value of the car never goes up. So if your car is 40 grand, $25,000, guess what? When you go to sell your car to privately, or you want to go back to dealership and switch out your car, the value is depreciating. So that alone, your money is going to waste. Your money is down the drain. So the only benefit to me is if I was to call the embassy and be like, I'm willing to pay the extra fee. But if this car is they're telling me is not able to be on the streets, then guess what? I don't want a car anymore. Like, straight up, I don't want to pay it anymore. I don't see how it's benefiting my life. It's not worth it to me. The money I could have and save for my retirement is way more than what they're having me pay for these stupid cars, and I don't care anymore. You know, I remember I had a business call. With a older lady, and she thought that having like 40 cars in her lifetime was normal. She was like, "Oh, like my husband just bought a new truck, and the car payment's like $600, not including insurance." Like, this is the American culture. Is like, go into a bunch of debt, you know, have things you can't afford. And I'm saying it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, you're never gonna be free. Living like that, you're never gonna be free, because you always owe somebody something. And yes, there's tons of countries out here, guys, that are property tax free, okay? And whatever you're paying into the government, it's actually going to benefit you. God forbid that you are on the verge of being homeless, or you have a medical emergency, or you have a child, okay? My mother was paid maternity leave. She had multiple weeks and months and she still had her job to raise me with my father, to stay at home. In America, that's unheard of. And I know from experience, I've had relatives in America get pregnant, have birth, and they work up until the last month of their pregnancy, they're working. And to me, that's barbaric. Like, why is a woman being forced, because the bills are so high? And I'm saying this is all the snake eating itself, guys. And I'm saying I had to take a step back. I had to take a step back and say, do I want to live in a country that is forcing pregnant women to go right back to work, and then to work up until they're going to give birth? Absolutely not. My mother didn't have to do that. My grandmother didn't have to do that. My great-grandmother, who's Welsh, European, didn't have to do that. So why should I be subjected to this? This makes no sense. So while I'm in America, obviously I'm going to make the most of it. But as soon as I can get out of here, I'm out of here. And you guys will see that. You guys will see me on camera one day saying, I'm out of America. I've left the plantation, because it's a fucking slave plantation. I've left the slave plantation, guys. I'm free. I'm free. And I'm never going back. I am never going back. And I mean that. So that's where I'm at, guys. And I just want people to not doubt how they feel. I don't care if you're Black, Asian. I don't care what you are. I don't care where you came from. I'm telling you that if you want to, people just need to travel, you know. But the last thing I'm going to say, guys, is you're really going to have to listen to your intuition. Let me get my water, guys. Let me get my water bottle. You cannot afford to listen to other people, guys. If I listen to other people, hi from Jamaica, hi, big up Jamaica. My dad's side is Jamaican. I am half Jamaican. Big up Jamaica. Yes, indeed. And Barbados and Trinidad. That's my dad's side of the family. My mom's yeah, my dad's side, but in my mom's side, I also have Caribbean on my mom's side too. But let me tell you guys, and a lot of African Americans are also going back to other parts of Africa and the Caribbean, and they're smart. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else who's trying to build up America and they're getting scammed, I feel bad for them. But you know what, guys, with that said, everybody has a different destiny. Everybody has their own destiny, and they have to figure it out themselves. But I have lived in America for over 2 decades, and under Trump, by the way. I lived in America for Trump's first presidency, so I've already experienced all that shit. You see what I'm saying? Like I've already experienced like multiple different presidents, and it's only gotten worse. So I'm not too sure about that. So, yes, big up, big up, big up. So let me tell you, and by the way, my father who is Jamaican, I already have been trying to convince my father to get the hell out of here. I told him, like, when you're set to retire, you need to not live in America. You need to go back to your home country and build a house in Jamaica or wherever the heck you choose, and get the hell out of Dodge. And he's listening to me because his current girlfriend is Colombian, and they already have a house in Colombia, which is also a lot of expats have gone to Colombia as well, and they're living pretty well, just like Portugal and Spain and all those similar countries. But I'm really trying to convince my dad. My dad, I know for a fact, is not going to retire in America, but my mom, I don't know, because she's having a hard time to unplug, and I'm really trying to get her to wake up. I'm trying to get her to wake up, and even if my father said to me, I'm gonna go back and build a house in Jamaica, I would go in a heartbeat. You know what I'm saying? I would go in a heartbeat. Like I'm open to Jamaica as well, because I am Jamaican. So I don't have a Jamaican citizenship. I would have to probably relinquish my American one and get a Jamaican one. I don't know the process on how to obtain a Jamaican citizenship. So I would have to, obviously research that too. Yes, Dwayne. Yeah. Let me tell you, and it's not just Caribbean, it's immigrants, period, right? It's immigrants, period. The immigrants who came in the early 90s and 80s, they're having a hard time disconnecting because they want that dream to be alive so well. But that dream is dead, guys. Like if all the trillions of dollars in debt, has not, oh, it's loud over here. There's a loud plane. If all the trillions of dollars in debt that has, the needle hasn't moved, guys. The needle has not moved. Let me tell you. So all the years that, they want to talk about this company springing up and this company and this company. Look at the Amazon strikes. Look at all the hardworking Americans who are working for Amazon under Jeff Bezos. You know how many, I even had an ex-boyfriend who worked for Amazon. He told me he had to pee in a bottle in his truck, guys. This is the American dream. They treat people like cattle. And then you see how Jeff Bezos is trying to spend $400 million on a wedding for some fake bimbo. I mean, you have to laugh, and that's why I'm saying, like, people need to travel, and they need to understand, like, they're getting scammed. And I don't like, first of all, I'm not trying to be rude, but like, this is not even their native land. Can I be frank with you all? Like, a lot of these immigrants, like most of these immigrants, they have no ancestry to America. So why, so not being mean, but like, my thing is, why are you trying so hard when your blood does not trace back to America? For those whose blood traces back to here, I cannot speak for you, but my ancestry does not trace back to America at all. If I did a DNA test right now, it'd be probably 0.01%. It would not even be no 5%. It'd be probably almost in the negatives, because my father is Caribbean, my mom is European, and so there's nothing else American there. Like all my uncles and aunts, they're Jamaican, they're Bahamian, they're European, they're Trinidadian. Like they're not American. And in fact, one of my aunts who's married to one of my uncles, she's Trinidadian, and guess what else? She also went back just last year. And she's been working in the States for over 4 decades. Had all her kids over here in America, all types of shit. And she went back last year, and I'm like, oh, okay. So they're not stupid. So now I'm walking in the park, as you guys can see. I only got like 5-6%. But yeah, for those of you guys who have immigrant background as well, whether Asian, African, Caribbean, Native, you name it. These boomers, the Gen X, I think understand, but the boomers are hard to convince. And let me tell you, when my dad went back to Jamaica for his high school reunion, he was like, his whole voice, his whole countenance, his whole energy was totally different. And he was like, oh my God, Simone, this is sweet life. And this is speaking from a man. This is speaking from my father, who has built up multiple businesses, right? Drives BMW, expensive house, like been in his profession for over 6 decades, good high salary. And that one little trip, his whole countenance changed. And that's what I'm saying is like, you got to wake up and tap in. Like, and I said to him, oh, like, so how do you feel? And that was before I even cracked the code, right? And he was like, oh, I just feel so good over here. And yet they make it seem like this is where the paradise is. The paradise is not here, guys. And I'm not saying, I'm telling you, I am not saying that dream for some, the very few, is not alive and has not been alive, because it has. We have seen a lot of people, right, of immigrant ancestry who've been able to make their dreams come true in America. And great. But I'm saying that window, that so-called opportunity, the politics, the safety is on a severe decline, and it's not the same. And so it's just wiser, if you can afford it, if you can, to invest back where you actually came from, right? Take your American money and get the hell out of Dodge. Like the American dollar, any other place that I have ancestry to goes pretty far for now. But that could crash as well. But I'm saying while the dollar is still good to convert, people should really think about it. But yeah, my mom, I don't know. She is now saying to me that she is not hung up on staying here. Like, she's finally waking up, and she's like, Simone, I want to pay off the house. I don't want to have to be working as hard as I work over here. And she admitted to me she's never worked those kind of hours in England. And she was getting paid more, better benefits, better. The only difference is that it's hotter here than over there, obviously. Like, the state is very hot. We don't get snow. That's the only difference. If that was not a part of the equation, she'd be back over there in a heartbeat. That's the only thing with my mom that's holding her back, is the weather. That's it. But guess what? There's other countries in Europe that have hot weather. So, if you don't want to find a solution, you won't, right? But if you just want to be ignorant and just keep eating crumbs, God bless. But like, the way that I see it is like, there's a will, there's a way. And by the way, for all my Caribbean folk in the chat who can relate to what I'm saying, I gotta get off because my phone's gonna go dead. Look up the video of a Jamaican lady warning the people to not come over here. I think if you go on YouTube, it says Jamaican woman warns people about America, and she explains like the realities. And I think it has like over 1 million views, if not close to 1 million views, or over 1 million views. 100% accurate. So that's what I say. So my dad, I believe, is more intelligent to not retire here, and I think that he will not. But my mom, I don't know. I think she's trying to, I think that American bug has bit her. But you know what? After all the years she's lived here, no matter how much money she's made, no matter how much success, no matter how many cars, no matter how many houses she's owned in America, like, she has finally admitted to me that, like, this is not better. And I knew that. And so, and especially for Black families who have kids and stuff, oh my God, like, if you watch any of these vlogs of like Black people talking about how like they've gone to Asia or they've gone to the Caribbean or whatever, their kids are so much happier. And their kids are being taught like real-ish to like survive and thrive, not just survive, but to thrive. And they have a better handle on reality. right? You send your black kids to school in America, they're gonna probably get shot up. And don't even forget that, don't even let me get started on the racism, but like your kid's gonna be brainwashed, bro. Brainwashed. Brainwashed. And let me tell you, for vacation, you want to go on a cruise, you want to go to Universal Studios, you want to go to Disney, knock yourself out. But living in America, no. You can vacation here all you want. But it's also dangerous because have you not seen all those videos of people going on vacation and their stuff is getting stolen, they're getting shot up, they're getting raped? And I'm not exaggerating, like like this is a daily occurrence in America, guys. It is not what they put on TV. There's nothing else that this country can sell me. I'm done. I'm off. I'm ready to get off the plantation. I am. They're trying to cross over because media has tried to convince them that this is the land of milk and honey, guys. And then they come here, they realize it's a trap. That's why. And also, they don't know any better. Some people now, and more so than back about 10 years ago, more people now that migrate over here is because they're fleeing from oppression. You know, they're not really coming from places that are, well built up. So for some people, this is better than where they came from because they had a dictator, but they have some kind of oppression. But if you're coming from already a good country and you're coming to America, it's an absolute downgrade, and it's not better. It is not better. It is not better. And on top of that, I had a South African lady reach out to me. My phone's probably gonna go dead. 1 second, guys. I got 3%. I gotta get off here soon. I'm sorry. I had a South African girl on TikTok. She was like, oh, when I was young, I would always watch those American movies, fake shit in a studio. And I always wanted to come to America. And I said to her, Europe. I said to her, and in the Caribbean, I said to her, I said to her, that's a lie. It's a bold-faced lie. And she's like, oh yes, now I see. I've had friends move over to America and they're so unhappy. I said, so listen to them. Stop watching fucking movies and live in reality. You know what I'm saying? And like, what do you see now? Akon, all these other black celebrities now, where are they going? Asia and Africa and Europe. They're getting the hell out of here. And people that are American bred and born are seeing this and they're waking up. I talked to a guy at Walgreens literally, and he was like, oh yeah, I saw these two black celebrities are going back to Guyana. They're settling, they're buying property in Asia. They're going to other continents, guys. And I'm like, so what does that tell you? What does that tell you? Like, whatever people thought, like I said, that's the past. We're living in the present, guys. So exactly. That's why you have to know yourself and stick to your roots. And I told my mom that. I'm like, Mom, I said to her, I'm like, Mom, do you remember your roots? Do you remember how well you were treated over there? Like, you came over here because you thought. But guess what? Thought is not the reality. That's not the reality. So yeah, guys, this video was very well made. I'm going to put my comments open for those who are going to watch it again. Thank you for coming with me to listen to this talk. So I'm warning people, do not fall for the trap. You want to go to university somewhere else in a country where you're going to get benefits and they're going to give you money to go, or it's way cheaper. Like I said, America is the most expensive country to get education. So you're going to be paying that debt for years. And look it up. People are not even paying their school debt. And guess what? There's interest. There's interest on those loans. So they're forever in debt. So it's a trap. It's a trap. And I want people to get out. Don't come here. You can vacation here, but do not live here. It is not good for your mental health. It's not good for your physical health. It's not good. It's not good. And so I have just too much experience and I'm like, I'm done. So I love you guys so much. So please get your passports. For those who are trying to really get out of here, get your passports, apply for those visas. Get it going, because once shit pops off in America, they're going to try to trap us here. They're going to say we need essential workers. They're going to say you can't go, it's too dangerous. They're going to lie. It's going to happen. They're going to lie. So yeah, I'm ready to get off the plantation, y'all. I love you guys so much. Okay.